All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I want to give our honor and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachak say Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Barakati Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachak. And we give double honors to our apostles and our elders, which apostle elders, a great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai. 2025, which is the hope for you about deliverance and the judgment and the destruction of Esau. Let's jump into this lesson. The title of this lesson is going to be peace, peace, then certain destruction or peace. They're selling a dream of peace, okay? They're selling a dream of peace, something that'll go with that. But the main point is that coming from Thessalonians, First Thessalonians, and we'll bring that out also too. And what you're seeing now, this is from Prepper News. It's also used to be Canadian Prepper. He's got 2 channels now. I'm sure censorship and different things like that. But he did this video and I was watching it and the scripture just kept coming to my mind as he broke it down. Because I think he identifies as agnostic, someone that doesn't believe in the scriptures or believe in the power, which, and he can see prophecies is coming to pass. But that's not the main point. That's neither here nor there. What we're looking at now is that he's going into this video concerning peace and concerning peace coming before war. Okay, and the scriptures prophesied that's what would be taking place in the time of the end, that they would be telling you peace, peace, peace and safety, and then sudden destruction. All right, so I'm going to play this first part. This is fair use. Fair use. This is for educational purposes only. This is not for any kind of monetary gain. This is just to show you. They got different clips coming in and out, but I'm going to bring out some of the words and some of the things that he's speaking about. You can watch this video. It's only 12 minutes long, but it says a lot. All right, the main thing is that we're watching the end culminate. Okay, we got the situation in Venezuela. China sent tanks over there. Russia's advising it, so it's a proxy war, which makes sense, because Ukraine is being used as a proxy. So if Venezuela is used as a proxy, that's going to shake things up, man. All right, so let's play this. Fair use, fair use.
Recent weeks to take back the canal by force if necessary.
We had an extremely productive meeting, and we're going to stop thousands of people a week from being killed.
The United States has dispatched 3 Aegis-class guided missile destroyers straight toward Venezuelan waters.
You are the single finest candidate since the Nobel Peace Award was ever talked about to receive that reward.
I want peace through strength.
If I were the government and I knew World War III was approaching and the proverbial day X was on the horizon, I would not warn you. I would keep order. I would keep people calmed. Why? Because panic, not missiles, will break the country first. And this is well historically precedented. Tonight we connect the dots on how a government sells calm while preparing for war and what that means for you.
I've never seen anything like this. These feel heavier than last year.
When people sense war, the economy stalls, markets crash, supply chains jam, and public services teeter. Investment stops, money flees, and some people flee the country. Panic, not missiles, are what crashes society first. So the playbook, if you're the government, is simple. If you're preparing for war, you must project peace at all costs.
That you must project peace. And that's what the scriptures were saying. That's showing you that the Bible is a prophetic book that is on point 100%.
This is the pacification paradox.
All right, so he brought that out. So what I did is that I looked up what the pacification paradox is, okay? Pacification paradox refers to apparent contradiction that efforts to establish peace often rely on or are accompanied by violence or coercion. Okay, this can be observed on several levels, from military campaigns to political actions. The paradox reveals a central tension. The goals of peace is sometimes achieved through forceful methods that are artistic of peace, if I'm pronouncing that right, of peace itself. It says international policies and military strategies. Pacification paradox is a particular evident in context of war, insurgents, and what is that? Colonialism, Slovakia. And it says contradiction methods, pacification, campaigns like those of Vietnam War involved military forces and colonialism. It says representation alongside civil action. Same thing with the Gadites. When the Edomites came to the landmass of America, they signed what? Peace treaties. But those peace treaties, all of them were broken because those were just steps in setting up the Gadites to take them down, man. Okay, heart and minds, these campaigns highlight the difficulty of establishing true peace and legitimacy backed by lethal violence. The state and violence. Some scholars inhaling that's it on that. But we got the main logistics of what the pacification paradox is. So that's exactly what you see them using in a time now. They don't want people freaking out. They want you going to work. They want to catch you off guard. They don't want to have you thinking anything is a muck, even though you can clearly see the writings on the wall because we pay attention. We watch the news. We make it a point to watch the news. We see what's going on each side. We watch alternative news stations. We watch a lot of what they call conspiracy theorists, those that have whistleblowers. Those is the real news, but the main news is not going to tell that people because it's a part of their doctrine. It's a part of their war plans that they want the citizens as ignorant as possible until the very last moment when you can continue to work, you can continue to do the things that you need because guess what? The military still needs food. They still need products. They still need certain people in factories working to fuel the war machine. If you don't have the war machine being fueled, everybody's bugging out and staying at home because they're scared of what's getting ready to happen. They're not going to be working. So it's in their best interest to keep you as docile as possible. That's why we tell these other Israelites that, hey, man, that you being, if you're not pushing the whole thing, you're pretty much working against this thing because because this man knows that we've caught him. He knows he's been caught. He knows he's been found out by the way of the Spirit, by this way the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua has revealed him, okay? 2 Thessalonians tells us that there's be a time he will be revealed. He will be known as the son of perdition, the son of destruction. All right. So let's get that 2 Thessalonians real quick. Now that we're here, this is 2 Thessalonians 5 and verse 3. Now listen close. Listen what this says, and let's read the Amplified version. It says, "While they are saying peace and safety, all is well and secure, then in a moment of unforeseen destruction will come upon them suddenly, like labor pains on a woman with child, and they will absolutely not escape, for there will be no way to escape the judgment of the Lord." So you seeing what's coming to pass now. They're telling you peace, peace, but once this third world war cracks, Yahushua himself is going to come and step in the midst of it, and they're going to turn their weaponries and turn their energy against Yahushua. But that's why it says if it be already kindled, okay? So I just wanted to set that tone to show you 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3 was prophesied to tell you that these things are coming to pass, man. They're going to say peacefulness and security, and it's not so. All right, so let's go back here.
The closer you get to war, the more you'll hear about peace. This is a deliberate strategy in which leaders project peace, normalcy, and market stability in order to suppress panic and preserve freedom of action while simultaneously accelerating covert mobilization and war preparations. Why is this a paradox? Well, the more peace is signaled, the closer large-scale escalation may be. Pacification buys time and prevents any pre-strike chaos, but it also conceals the rising risk. For the sake of continuity of government, you as an individual will not be forewarned about the coming calamity. This is called the noble lie. Governments justify withholding information from the public because it's perceived to be in the interests of the greater good.
So now, what did I do? I looked up noble lie. And it says noble lie definition. A noble lie is a beneficiary falsehood or myth knowingly propagated by an elite. That's your government. So when we telling you what these things are coming to pass, we're telling you the noble truth. They're telling you a noble lie. Our noble truth is the Lord said, give them warning from me. And it also says, knowing the fear of the Lord, we persuade men. So we telling you that these things are coming. It ain't, your blood is not on our hands, man. We're warning you. We're not hiding the penny. We're not putting it in a napkin and tucking it away. We're giving you who gave us this truth, who gave us the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And we're giving you warning from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And we're telling you that the Heavenly Father is moving the goalposts when it comes to Third World War and the destruction. And who Esau is, what's getting ready to happen. Just like prophets did in the ancient world is the same thing that they're doing today. Prophets don't expire, man. Okay? Prophets and prophecies come to pass. They don't have an expiration date until they're fulfilled, man. Okay? You don't have no moldy prophecies. They're going to come to pass exactly how the Lord said it in the time that he said it for. Just like we don't know the end. We don't know the time of the end and the coming of Yahushua. Yahushua himself doesn't know, but he knows that it's close. So he knows the time where he needs to be and what needs to happen once that bell is rung and that button is hit. All right. So we're telling you a noble truth, and these elites and the governments are telling noble lies, but they're justifying it through their own doctrine. It's written in their outline. It said that they will tell you something to so-called prevent chaos and for the continuity of government and to keep population safe. So which is not safe because you ain't gonna have time to prepare. You gonna know at the last minute, in the last moment, and even then they're gonna be lying to you. Okay, and it says propagated by an elite to maintain social order, foster unity, and promote the greater good for the security by encouraging citizens to accept their assigned roles and responsibilities. Go your ass to work, pay your minimum. Think about this: people work these dead end jobs. They don't have nothing to show for it. And on top of that, you gonna work until the day you ain't gonna have nothing to do else beyond just catch judgment and destruction. Instead of you enjoying the last little moments of your life, which we tell people. I remember telling people that for years, man. Go max your credit card out. Go take that trip you always wanted to take. Enjoy your life because the time that's coming ain't gonna be good, man. And then the world to come is not going to be built for you. It's going to be built for the Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They're going to be on top, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, just like Esau is on top. He didn't make himself rule the earth. He was given the earth. It says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces thereof. And then you read Malachi to know who the wicked is. So this. Enjoy yourself. We're actually giving you the benefit. We're giving you the greatest truth. Yeah, it might be bitter, but the sweet thing is go enjoy your little life, to go do some things, man, because your elites want you to work until the day that the bells ring and you got to go to a 15-minute city or you got to be cordoned off or just like in the time of the pandemic. All right. And it says originated in Plato's The Republic. The concept argues that while truth is generally preferable, certain myths, like myths of the metals, can serve vital purposes in stabilizing the community. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to stabilize the community. And what I did is I typed in, where is that? Noble lies in Rome. I said noble lies used in Rome. Unlike Plato's specific myths of the metals, ancient Rome's version of a noble lie was not a single fabricated story, but a set of fundamental myths, traditions, and political constructs that justified its social hierarchy and expansion. The Latin term for this kind of spurious fraud is pia fraudis. This narrative gave divine authority and purposes to the existing order, encouraging citizens to accept their preordained roles for the greater good of Rome. Okay, same thing you see right now happening in Babylon the Great. They're corralling people to go to work, everything all right. That's why they're stabilizing the markets. The market should be crashing right now, man. All right, oil should be at a drastic low or high. It should be almost $100, if not more, for a barrel. Gold is at 36. They can't hide gold, but most people don't look at gold. If you look at gold, you can see something's in the works right now. I remember when gold was 1,500. I remember that. You know, if I had some extra cheese, I would have bought some gold. But you know, the Lord, I'm not leaning on that. That's not what is gonna save me in the times. I want the Lord to glorify, and if I'm set to be, you know, in that number and in the good graces, I don't want to say gold was, yeah, man, I had a little extra gold. It helped me get through. No, I don't want to say that. And, you know, you want to lean on Yahbashim Yahushai and to let him glorify and show his magnificent works, man. All right? Lean not upon your own understanding. Your own understanding would be, let me buy some gold because it's going to keep me safe. Or just wait, and the Lord might find you somewhere where you don't need a drop of money, man. All right? Same thing going back to Elijah. Okay? The men of the Lord were taken care of in the scriptures, and we're waiting for that day today, or in those times now. Okay? So the main point is there. You can read more into it. I'll see if we'll play a little bit more of this video. We'll get one more precept. We'll close on out. I didn't want to make it long, but you can watch the rest of this. But when I seen this video, I had to jump in here one time and bring this out because this is prophecy. And he doesn't even realize that he's saying a prophetic saying, peace, peace. Okay.
In the run-up to World War III, the gap between reality and rhetoric will become more apparent. Reassuring messages will be accompanied with more military deployments, border fortifications, stockpiling contracts, surveillance of adversarial countries, and communication tests. Throughout history, governments have often prioritized maintaining social order over honestly informing the public about the true severity of a conflict or impending crisis. For example, the Ukraine war. In the run-up to the 2020.
You can go ahead and take a look at the rest of that video if you like. But the main point here, this is Ecclesiasticus 12 and verse 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay, let's start at verse 9. And it says, in the prosperity of a man, in the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go down crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Okay, so the main thing is watch these times we in, watch what's going on. You gotta watch different avenues and watch different things that are happening. That way you can be well aware that the times we're living in are dire, man. Okay, Yahbashim Yahushai is moving on the planet Earth in big ways, man. I just shared a video with the China sending tanks to Venezuela, and they're backing them up. Okay, so and all this took place after the so-called meeting in Alaska. You had the military parade in Beijing, which Nero said something about it, that they were conspiring against America. So they putting it out there. These words are being more dramatic, and they're being more drastic in public. All right, so with that, I say, call hello, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rechach Wadash. Until the next time, I say shalom and more, and I'll never keep faith. Shalom.